like a Millie Rocket. Skin clear, still look young, Andy Miller knockers. Money in my pocket, don't call me a money pocket. Engine get to rocket, it sound like a thunder rocket. Yeah, I still love my baby even when it's toxic. Crazy like she Britney, but no, she don't shade the knocket. Russell Wilson, way I get low and stay in the pocket. I get paid and do my dance like a touchdown. Yeah, I can't do no time, don't leave that gun around. In my teens, we were acting up and running around. Now we're grown, still get to it if it's necessary. On the ground from January to January. Never met nobody who retired when they were young. So I guess I gotta get it to the cemetery. Getting paid just for rapping is fun. I lit up around a month in every February. Told him side, no electric. It's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told him slide, no electric. Yeah. It's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777. Couple of money in my head just to say they did it. Can't lie, I'm so paranoid and the windows tinted. I own everything around me, you can say it's rented. Not talking phone numbers when I'm talking 7 digits. Earn it by the day, every second minute. Used to pay me none, look, now they pay attention. Everybody say they drip, but I banded it. See them copy all the looks, but I stay switching. Pick up the loot, then hit the bank. Can never change, still wrote the change. Captain say the pay, this ain't the day. They made me wait, I'm breaking chains. Yeah. Told me feeling bubbly out the rose. Took a minute, but I got it out the slow way. Friends turn to foes, haters tell them go away. Rappers making shiggy dance like a soul train. Told them slide, no electric. Yeah. It's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told them slide, no electric. Yeah. It's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777.
see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear
no. Go high, go low, low, low. Like spinning in a 644. Cash money like 504. Ball like AD24. No sleep, need more. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Ooh, I'm a real one, my day ones. Try speak up, can't say none. Try dig dirt, there ain't none. I make the money that save up. 10 to 80, my savings. Take to the top from the basement. New car, race on. Fast lane, pace on. With the booyah, that's a flex. Non-human, I ain't from another planet. I'ma teleport, might vanish. I'ma wake up, do damage. Jordan number 7, he's bored though. Working all night, need more though. I remember nights I was poor though. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Personal, I ain't lying, I ain't hiding, I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be. We just building, it's my season, lay foundation, make a name for generations, please and make a, then take a break or a little vacation and chasing blues away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning, or look like you always be working, soaking the moments you live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be. By
a rebound, then it's robbing. Tasting with the fade, not the hair, my hands rocking. When I link with ballpoint, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same.
What's going on? We're back. Yes. Ooh, some folks are testy. What up?
It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life.
Yes. Yeah. Hands up.
I follow. No need to say.
You know how we do it, people. In the chat room.
To the edge of it all. To the edge of it all.
City, gender. Let's get it.
Cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell you good nights. Cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh.
Kiss the ring.
Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a problem. No. 'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. And nothing can stop me.
28 from Tacoma, 43
Cause
from
I'm
Portland,
addicted to what you and I realize.
28 from Cleveland, 31 from West Palm Beach, 39 from Cleveland, Indiana in the house, Orlando.
Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all.
34-year-old Mel from Hot Atlantic, what's up?
Cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell you good nights. Cause I'll buy no matter what. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, people? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to your favorite late night show. What's going on, O'Shea Duke Jackson? Where them sandals at, man? I need them, man. I left them at Magic City last night, man. Last night was Magic City Monday. You know, we was in there sandling it up while they was weaving it up. And see what had happened was, the big booty stripper, she still got them, but I'm gonna get them back next week though. So you're gonna have to let me, give me a little room to slide. Shout out to the captain of the Manosphere, the CEO of this Manosphere ship, O'Shea Duke Jackson, out there doing the damn thing. Been doing a spectacular job in this pandemic, ain't missed a beat. Brother is displaced out of a home in Poland and still making more happen than 90% of you suckers out here. So what you gonna say about another high value man? Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. Yeah, I'm going there tonight. So 907 people watching. And first thing I want to do is say thank you to all the Patreons to make this thing possible. Keep this thing moving. The other reason I decided to do the show. So shout out to all the CIA, confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. To all the FBI, the feminine, beautiful, and inspirational ladies out there. All right, so You have been following what's been going on this channel, on YouTube. This high value thing has some people in their fifis. Got some grown damn men in their feelings. Don't know what to tell you, man. Don't know what to tell you. Well, I do know some things to tell you, and I'm going to tell you in a second. I'm going to tell you this in a second. Number one, you don't have to like the fact it is what it is. I didn't pick my lot. You picked your lot in life. I picked my lot in life. And I've never thrown a shot at any of these guys. But here's the thing. 1,056 people in here. I want to make it real clear. In the black community, there's this thing called no snitching, stop snitching, meaning you're not supposed to tell the police, to tell the authorities when somebody's doing something wrong. You're supposed to, keep your mouth quiet and let the neighborhood sort it out. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll snitch. I'll snitch like a mug. And I'll tell you right now, YouTube, if you haven't been around, YouTube at the beginning of the year, they released something called, everybody that has a YouTube channel has to sign off on something called terms and conditions. And it's basically the governing rules of the channels. And for the longest, YouTube's terms and conditions had not been updated. But with the advent of live streaming, YouTube has seen an influx in all sorts of foul behavior to the point now they actually updated their terms and conditions. Let me read something. YouTube announced an expansion of its anti-harassment policy that will ban creators from insulting one another. That means creator on creator harassment on the basis of race, gender, sexual orientation, protected class. Even if a person is insulting a popular creator, celebrity, politician, or other public figure. Now, what does that basically mean? Well, back in the day, you used to just say basically anything you want on YouTube and get away with it. You could even put the word allegedly out there. But yeah, YouTube is no longer doing that. And some of your most notable known YouTubers have been deplatformed. Gone is the 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. You violate this creator on creator policy, you can lose your channel one shot. And once they block you at the IP level. You don't get to come back. YouTube said it will now prohibit veiled or implied threats, not just explicit ones. So all this fighting this and that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Yeah. They're getting people up off of this platform. The new policy includes content that simulates violence against a person or language indicating physical violence that occurred. YouTube also said they will no longer permit maliciously insulting someone based on characteristics like race, gender, sexual orientation, other protected class, whether it's a private individual, YouTube personality, or public figure. This policy not only applies to the content creator, but to the comment section too. So newsflash. This is your warning. I'm done talking. I'm done playing games with you. If you fall into that category, I'll strike you. I'm giving you a fair warning. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Stop playing with me. Because I don't follow these street code rules. And once you have a certain number of subscribers, you actually get a person. I don't bother you, don't bother me. And you think you can sit around and imply stuff, say things and get away with it? No, you're responsible for it, right along with your comment section. So yes, even if you don't say it yourself, if it's said on your channel, your platform, or your comments, they're taking you out. And already have gotten one person gone today. So there you go. So, if you think I'm playing, think I'm kidding, go ahead. And if you wake up tomorrow or later on this week or something, and all of a sudden you see All of a sudden you see something that looks familiar. You see something like that. When you go to log into your channel, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Why is all this thing going on? See, when I was talking, going back and forth with people, this is about harassment. It's not about an opinion. It's about outright lying on people, insulting, taking stuff and misrepresenting, trying to play. Well, see, the funny thing is, especially for the people who are doing crazy stuff, you've checkmated yourself. Either you're lying or you're harassing a protected group. Lying or harassing a protected group, or allowing lies to be told or harassment in your comment section. That's why I moderate my comments. That's why you can't come in here and say anything you want to, because I'm not going to allow somebody to get my channel knocked down. And I'm telling you, it happens every day. And so there it is. Run, tell that. Go tell it to whoever you think. And if you don't care about your channel, cool. Fine. Oh, Osei said he'll continue to call people bums. Bums is cool, man. But the thing is, you can't lie on somebody. You can't call somebody something and then say allegedly and make up all this fantasy. You can't play snippets of this, snippets of that, and try to misrepresent it. Yeah, YouTube is tired of this. And when I went to, well, anyway. So, I don't send emails out to content creators and say, hey, man, hey, chick, let's squash. No, I don't do that. The first thing you get is going to be directly from YouTube, because you haven't contacted me. You haven't reached out to me. You haven't asked me anything about anything. And if you put something out there about me, my name, my content, my likeness, you better make sure it's accurate. Because if not, and you lose your channel, that's on you, fam. So, and that's how high value men do stuff. They don't handle stuff in the streets. They ain't trying to fight you and pull it up and doing all this. I don't have time for all that. I don't call nobody's names. I don't bother nobody. Next week I'll be in New York. 2 weeks after that, I'll be in Beverly Hills. Fly back to Atlanta. Then I'm going to Miami. Look, I don't have time to argue with people over the fact that you don't like that the conversation has changed, evolved, moved past you, making you feel some kind of way about where you are. That's not on me. If you got an issue with it, and the sad thing is, you would think it would be coming from a different place, and the place it is coming from is truly pathetic. So as we continue to move on, 1,600 people in here, man. We don't got 500 likes, man. We got to get the likes up over 800. See, if we don't get the likes up, we will go to intermission. In intermission, I play this loud ass rock song like this. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. So get me the likes up as we get into it. All right. High value. High value is everywhere. High value this, high value that. I don't like high value. High value ain't this. High value is here and it's here to stay. And one of the things that really upsets people about high value, no matter what side of the coin you're on, whether you're a man or a woman, is the fact that a lot of people feel stuck. They look in the mirror, look at where they're at, and they say, I don't like where I rank. High value is a static concept. Even if you don't like the way I define it, you have to define it some way. And whatever it is, the minority of people are in that category. 50% of men cannot be high value, or else the standard ain't high enough. So, as we all know, high value men are respected by other men, admired by women. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He often talks about alpha males. And alpha males, men decide who are alphas. Alphas have nothing to do with women and sex. Alphas are leaders amongst men. And one thing that I've noticed over, especially over here is a lot of times guys are claiming themselves elevated status based upon your sexual prowess or your physicality, and that ain't it. So there are some things that either side does that limits their value, or things that will keep you from increasing your value. What are some things? Well, if you're still living at home with your mama, I don't care why you living at home with your mama. You can't be high value nothing living at home with your mama, unless you bought the home and is paying for her in-home nurse. So had a lot of guys calling in, living at home, living at home, living at home. I understand things happen in a setback, but you can't change the rules. Living at home with your mama doesn't high value. It's better to have a roommate than live with your mama. Being broke. Being broke is obviously, I mean, that's self-explanatory. If you broke, you can't really increase your value. You broke, you can't even really do anything to increase your skills. You got to use time. That's why it's better to work and be tired than broke. But see, why you can't do what O'Shea does and a lot of other hardworking brothers do around the manosphere, is you're lazy. And see, the laziness thing, show your work. Work ethic will trump talent every day and twice on Sunday. If you're lazy, you cannot or you will not do what it takes to get out of your slump, to get out of your predicament. If you have the victim mentality, it's always somebody doing something to you. It's this syndrome, it's that system, it's this, it's that. Look, we got first world problems. And if you go back in history, I can't think of a better time to be alive in this country as a black person. I don't want to go back to the segregation or Jim Crow or to chattel slavery. I mean, what do you want to go back to? Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Sorry. The victim mentality. And those are some things that will really continue to keep you stuck. But there are three things, or two, and it may be a third. But before I get into that, let's go ahead and look at the likes. Look at the likes. Look at the likes. We got our brother came in and donated. Here's the thing. I want to say something about my group, The Mix. And I want to give you the first thing. I got out of sequence. One, as an aside, let me talk to the black folks. Black folks, y'all, for the people who this concerns, you got to get away from a certain group. You have to grow your circle. One of the things that will keep you from increasing your value is by not growing your circle. Having the same people around you in 5th grade, in 6th grade, 9th grade, 12th grade, college, high school, you need to grow your circle. If you don't grow your circle, you don't grow your value. Who's hating now? Hey man, we don't call names over here. We don't call names over here. Just go look tomorrow or later on down this week, see whose channels are gone, or who got strikes, or who's been suspended. You'll find out. Growing your circle. Look, in order to increase your value, you must increase your social capital amongst others. There is really no effective way to increase your value without growing your circle. I mean, you can increase your money and the length of time you've had your money. You can even be considered high value. You could have the vibe. But if you don't grow your circle, you'll never have a network. Or your network will be small, and a small network by definition is inefficient and likely ineffective. Even if you have highly useful people, you just have two. Why don't people like to grow their circle? Because it's hard. Growing your circle is hard. Growing your circle is hard, and it requires you doing something that a lot of people don't know. Yeah, stop putting all the crabs in the thing, please. Growing your circle is hard because it requires you to stop being so self-involved. It requires you actually taking the time out to get to know somebody and actually have equal parts humility, gratitude, and empathy. And a lot of people are too selfish, too self-involved, too egotistical to grow their circle. To grow their circle, they're self-important. They don't want to talk to anybody. And the people who have small circles tend to want to dominate that circle. See, it's easy to dominate a circle of 3 or 4 people, but you can't dominate 50 people. Somebody in your circle is going to outrank you. Small circles, small, lower value. You've heard this old cliche, your network is your net worth. Your net worth is your network. Growing your circles. And in order to grow your circles, you have to start weeding out people. You got to weed out dysfunctional mindsets, low value mindsets, people who take pride, who enjoy negative destruction. I mean, really, you got to get away. You got to get away from people who are unproductive. I mean, think about it. You cannot grow your value sitting around people who talk or do the same thing hour upon hour. They're sitting there playing a video game 4 hours a day. That's 20 hours out of a week, assuming they played it 5 days. They're not getting productive. No productivity. They might have gotten better in the game, but what use was that? Growing your circle will actually make you more effective. But it takes time. See, it's slow. The thing people don't like about growing circles is people are complex. And you actually have to be good at interacting with people and reading situations and judging things for what they are. And people can tend to really quickly determine whether or not you're in this for good reasons. Growing your circle. So increasing your EQ, your people skills, is critical. Absolutely critical to increasing your value. And it's the one thing that it's the major thing that requires you to get outside of yourself. Again, making more money, that can be solo. Maintaining, solo. Every other thing in there is about the group. So when I say about the group, let me go ahead and mention this. Get the likes up, people. I don't want to have to go to the we're supposed to have over 1,000 likes. Get my likes up. Last brief warning. I better see the likes jump up to over 1,000. For those of you who don't know, I have a Facebook group called The Mix. And in it, I have a bunch of hand-selected, confident, intelligent, and assertive men, black men, and a bunch of feminine, beautiful, inspirational black women. You know, I've had thousands of people apply to the group, but I hand select people, and all I've done is ask them some simple questions. Your age, your current marital status, number of children, current relationship status, or marital status, relationship status, and then what are you looking from, and what are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking for a relationship, romantic, platonic, networking, whatever? General information. And for men, I asked the guys, job title and how long you've been on the job or how long you've been working. Because why? Because I want to be around productive men. So by definition, the mix is a more exclusive group. It's not a big group for everybody. there are plenty of groups for guys who were fresh out of college with no experience. But that is a different life than a 10-year professional. And in a group, if you want to see real networking happen, you have to sort people in a way that makes sense. So I've just had, from the people who've actually applied, I've just said this man, this woman, this man, this woman, this man, this woman, this man. And the mix has been going on for, I want to say, a little over 2 months now. In the first 10 days of the group being up, one couple met. In 10 days, one group already got together and flew themselves out. And they've been cruising ever since. One couple, one black couple, as in a group that I started as men's networking, women are our guests, but it's a cool place. All I've done is taken like-minded people and set them in a place. I'm barely even there. I got moderators to kind of help me run things, but I do all the behind the scenes. I have to remove some people, add some people, tweak this, tweak that. But in general, what does it prove? Look, if you put men and women in a room together and you basically let them know that they're like-minded, nature will take its course. And I'm going to tell you, the brother got him a bona fide, nice woman. I've already shown their pictures. Well, let me tell you, since that time, 2 more couples have gotten together. I'm sorry, not 2, 3 more. 3 more couples. That's 4 couples from a guy who's not a matchmaker, not a dating coach. I sorted men and women, and I make sure that the group, we don't talk about ratchet news. We don't talk about celebrity gossip. We talk about stuff that, a high level of conversation. The men run the group. The women are our guests. And the ladies in the group, they're having their own mixers around the country. And I get pictures every weekend, and I would love to show you the pictures, but I don't have everybody blurred out. 7 or 8 women went out to a nice mixer that they put together in Houston. I'm like, those people increased their circles. So by me making the mix, you got over 600 black people talking to one another, increasing their circles. And we should have probably about 1,000 by the end of October. Everybody in the mix, I've asked, what have you learned or benefited from the mix? And I've heard nothing but good things from men saying, I've realized that I need to do this to get this, or I've done this. And what I've heard from women is, I realized how men like this move, or what I need to do to be. It's been positive. The couples thing are just, hey, I'm popping my collar. I didn't do nothing. They did it. 1, 2, 3 couples. And then one is going to be a couple supreme. Now, what's going to happen if you look up and, in a few months, I'm announcing somebody got married as a result of a Facebook group I started on top of all the other plates I'm spinning. Why is that important? Because those people are my contacts now. And by making the mix, I've allowed high-value men on high-value paths, CIA men, FBI women, because everybody in here ain't high value. They're just good, solid people. But people are gaining from it. They've increased their circles, and I've increased my circles, and all these little concentric circles are spinning. And guess what? I get the credit for bringing a lot of that together and letting it happen. That's how you increase your circles, people. That's how you increase your influence. That's how you increase your value. Yeah, I would say that if a couple end up getting married, they're going to say, you know what? We met as a result of the Facebook group that Kevin put together. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They wouldn't have met if I didn't do it. That's huge. Increasing your circles is not about you. See, that's the problem. A lot of this stuff is not about you directly. You benefit, but not about you directly. All right. The next thing is, so shout out to the people in the mix who are hanging out and doing what they're doing. You know who you are. And the next one. This is counterintuitive. You already have a certain amount of value. You need to stop hiding it. And this is something that I need my introverted men and women to pay attention to. Look, you may be a, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, doctor, lawyer, sales, tech, or a Blue Henry. You may be a Blake Henry or Blue Henry. You may be Hit Squad. You may be Hillary, Tina, Angie. You may be any of the things I put together, but here's the thing. If you take your butt home after working and working out, it doesn't matter. Getting online, chit-chatting, you need to get out. See, by increasing your circles or growing your circles, you stop hiding your value. It does two things. One, you need to get out and circulate. One, it gives you a much more realistic estimation of what your value really is to the group you want to be in. Say that again. You have a value, but that value varies depending upon the groups. If you, let's say, you may be really smart. You may know, if you go to grade school, addition and subtraction. That may be something really important, but the kids that knew multiplication and division, they looked at addition and subtraction and it's like, that's low value stuff. Being higher value to the groups, people, or places that you want to be a part of is important. So you need to actually get out, stop hiding your value, circulate around your people, grow your circles, grow your networks, and by that definition, you start to really get a better understanding, estimation of what your value is, and then grow it. Grow your circle, increase your value. Stop hiding. And when I say stop hiding, this is what I mean. Brother, this is why I do Suit Saturdays. Man, get out on Saturday and put on a suit, man. Separate yourself from the scrubs and the bums. Put on a suit on Saturday and strut your stuff. Pop your collar, ladies. Put a skirt on Saturdays and get out there and let that thing sway and move. Separate yourself. See, we have success shamed in this country to the point to where now it's up is down and down is up. Funk that. I don't do the success shaming. If you got it, wear it. Stop waiting to wear your nice suit, your nice watch, your nice fragrance. Wear it often. Stop hiding value. If you got a nice car, drive it. Park it up front and let it valet park with the wheels cut. What are you waiting for? A lot of you guys are looking for are dimming your own light and then wondering why you're not getting the outcome or why your value is not increased. No one can buy it if they can't see it. I'll let you know, Dr. Johnson. Moderators, put the link to the mix in the chat room, please. What it comes ultimately down to is this. Guys, you control much more about your value than you think. But it is about people. Growing your circle, stop hiding your value. If you work out, wear a dress that accentuates your curves. Stop coming out of the house looking homely. That's right. Stop coming out of the house looking homely with them yoga pants on your hair and a snatchback. No, take the extra 15 minutes, do something to your hair, and put on a nice outfit. Because between your home and where you're going, life happens. That's where you likely will meet your Blake Henry or your Blue Henry or your Hit Squad or other women to network with. But if people cannot recognize you at a glance as being a part of their tribe, their high value tribe, you're not visible. You're gonna miss each other. See, the mix just shows that if you put people that are similarly aligned and give us some basic information, nature happens. It ain't that damn complicated. And that's why I said, where are all the marriage counselors and relationship gurus and shit? If I'm just an image consultant, life coach, and this has happened here, why aren't the people who do this shit for 100% living? Because I think there's a lot more money in the chaos. For me, there's more money in the groups. Because if a guy is looking good, smelling good, and he has nowhere to go, why do you really need an image consultant in a personal world? In your professional world, true. So those are some things that help. Those are two things that keep your value from increasing. Now I'm going to open up the call lines because, ladies, you guys have this bad. You feel guilty about getting out there and being competitive for a man. You ladies have this real bad. You're like, well, I don't want to get out there and, you don't want to go out with your girlfriends and show her up. You don't want to wear that nice little black dress because your overweight chubby friend is going to feel some kind of way. Well, sorry. I'm sorry. You need to make people around you feel some kind of way. Guys, when you go out with your boys, you need to stunt on them. When you meet your boys out where you're going, your homeboys need to be like, damn. Every time we go somewhere, this dude always got to show us up. That's right. Don't hide your value. Because they could have done the same thing. Why are you showing them up? Because they're not trying. Don't dress down to make them feel good. I did this in corporate America when people are like, oh man, we're here. We don't wear suits here. We're more or less, button up, maybe a shirt and tie. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but my professional code says I wear a suit to work. So what you're asking me to do goes against what makes me comfortable, and that is creating a tension or hostility in this work environment. And they were back to French toast up. Yeah, I made it tough on them. Black man coming to work in a suit when you in a short sleeve shirt, short sleeve button up. No. So let's get the call lines open. How do you increase your value? Well, where is your value? Where do you rank right now? That's what a lot of people want to know. Where do I rank? Well, like I said yesterday, guys, if you want to know where you rank, if you want to talk to me, guys have to pay the way. Guys have to pay the way. I've spent, one thing that I've also realized is all the videos and stuff I made for guys, there's a ton of content on YouTube. But to get one-on-one kind of stuff, guys, you're going to just have to get used to the fact of investing in yourself. And you don't invest, and as an image consultant, I'm not here to coddle your feelings. I'm here to tell you about your outcomes. And see, I will tell you that I work with men and some women, well, some women and some men who thought they were coming to an image consultant and I was going to tell them what they wanted to hear. And I asked them, do you want the truth or do you want me to lie? Do you want me to tell you what I really see or do you want me to tell you what I think you want to hear? And inevitably, I wanted you to tell me and then when you tell them, they're upset. I got one guy here on YouTube who's still mad. This guy, he hadn't been a client for years. And I told him the truth about his situation. Dude, you're still living at home with your mama in your 20s, making less than $30,000 a year trying to find yourself. Even if you had your image together, you can't afford to date. And what he was looking for was magic beans. Now I asked him, did you want the truth? And then it was like, well, yeah, all right. Well, what do I need to do? You need to get your head, and you guys have heard me. This, increase your value by this, but there's no cheating. There's no free money. There's no skips. How many times have you guys heard me? Now, I said the same things in his private one-on-one that you guys have heard me say day over day, week over week, year over year. And this guy is still crying about this stuff. He's acting like I told him something that was not true, that he could not see himself, and stuff that he could not do. But instead of trying to just say, you know what? I know. And here's the thing. In the session, it was like, well, and this has happened more than one time with guys, to where now I filter pretty well. I don't take every client, because I only want to work with people who really want the help. Some people just want a magic bean or a magic bullet, and I don't do that. And I'm like, well, all right. So you're living at home with your mama. And here's the funny thing. This dude was trying to be a ladies' man. I want to be clear. He wanted to be a straight up lady killer. Living with his mama in his mid-20s or early 30s. He wasn't young. And he blamed it on all other kind of things. And I'm like, here's the thing. When I told him the reality, it's the reality he knows, that the reality that the world showed him. But years later, he's still mad at me. And my question is, it's been 2 years, 3 years. Oh, and I see him running around YouTube. Somebody say something about me. Anybody who says something negative about me, you can count on certain people to just go run. I'm like, yeah, dog, I'm that big in your life. So the truth I told you, that you asked me to tell you in your own best interest, one-on-one behind the scenes, hurt you so much to where you tried to go all around the world and say, oh, and it's still 2 years later. What do you think a guy like that is doing in his life? Do you think he's better today? Do you think his position's better? And this is what I said. The victim will always look to find someone to blame. And these are the people you got to get away from. You got to get away from these circles. You got to get away from these people, because these mindsets are poisonous. When you're trying to affirm yourself and keep yourself motivated, keep yourself moving, these people are the ones that will actually undercut you, tear you down, and end up affecting your confidence. So yeah. Yep. Grown men. And the funny thing is, and he's college graduate too. So understand, we're not talking about dumb guys. We're talking about lazy, unmotivated men that live at home with their mama. And I'm like, well, you know what the world calls you. I'm like, you got to get away from these circles. Like, you got to get away from these. You can't take nobody back to your mama house. I mean, I'm like, Jesus Christ. And see, as a man, you're not supposed to be angry with the truth. Especially in these RP spaces. These RP is supposed to be about the truth. So I find it interesting that so many guys over here could get upset when you talk about value and this and that. When you talk about hypergamy is females consolidating on the highest value man available. High value man, hypergamy. That's an RP tenet. But then you're upset with your value and you're not doing anything about it. And 2+ years later, you're still saying to anybody that will listen. But here's the funny thing. In that 2 years, my business has grown leaps and bounds. I've relocated. My life has gotten better. My business has gotten better. Romantic life has gotten better. I mean, I have my rotation in OKC and, in Atlanta, even with the corona, the Godfather's still doing his thing, but we're on the next thing. Project Next X. We're looking for hashtag next ex-wife. Make it fun. And see, that's the thing. You can't control what happens to you. You can only control what you do about it. But a person like that will always find a way to become low value. And then they will get angry and upset with you because you've chosen to do the things to make you higher value. It is a very black and white conversation. Either you're going to raise your value and get more options and more opportunities, or you're going to remain at where you are and deal with what you got. But either way, you are not supposed to complain. You're not supposed to complain. All right, let's get the call lines open. I don't even want to do the song right now, but I am going to do the song because it's tradition.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero.
It's hot, man.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios todo lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis volvieron. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Money work. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunático.
I'm sorry. Okay. That's the Erica. All right, like I was saying, why did I tell that story? I told that story because you needed to understand something. Losers and winners. Losing and winning is a mindset. Winning is a mindset, losing is a mindset. You lose long enough, you're a loser. You win consistently, you're a winner. That's why this is a big deal. And here's the thing. Winners use adversity for fuel. Losers use adversity for justification. Okay? Losers use adversity for justification. How many times have I told men or women uncomfortable truths that they've asked to be told in the nicest way possible? And then I've had, how many times have you heard a man or a woman reject them and attack me for saying it? And I said and especially you guys have heard me. I don't just automatically rah 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 rah. But I said I don't work with some certain men. I don't work with men who live at home. I'm very leery about working with men who live at home with their mother. Men over 25 that live at home with their mother, I'm very leery about working with them because there's generally something wrong with you. And it's usually more trouble than it's worth. The money you pay me, due respect, is not worth the headache. And then women, especially older women or really, really overweight women who are older, there's even Rebecca Lynn Pope said she stopped working as a matchmaker with certain women because women that fit into this category, this victim category, they expect the world for a 1 hour consult. And then when you can't deliver on that and you tell them you can't, they get angry, go try to slander your name, destroy your business, write bad reviews everywhere, then demand their money back and go through an elaborate I'm serious. It's not worth it. Now, what's the difference? The winner takes the information back and says, all right, how can I get better? Even the criticism, if it's fair. But the loser takes it and makes it personal and get mad at you for even asking. Why is this important? Well, because if you have victims in your circle, you got to get rid of them. You got victims in your circle, you got to get rid of them because they're not going to help you grow. Sincere, go ahead.
What's going on, brother?
How are you?
A lot more better today than yesterday, I'll say that much.
Okay, I can't see you.
Yeah, it's because I'm driving right now. I'm going to work right now.
Okay. Go ahead. What do you have for me?
Where do I rank? What would you say I rank?
I don't rank men. I don't know you, number one, and I don't rank men, especially like I rank women, because that's much more of a visual thing. In order to rank you, I'd have to actually know you, do some profile on you, and I charge for that, honestly. How old are you?
That's 27. I'm the phlebotomist, the guy you spoke to yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So why'd you call back? You were upset yesterday.
I just feel like you didn't give me a chance to explain myself as far as why I pursued the certification of phlebotomy. I had a whole plan for that. You know what I mean? Of course, I know I'm very aware of how much money they make, but it was supposed to be a stepping stone to me opening my own business.
How's that working out for you?
Well, I've been working for a year. I'm still in the process of getting experience. And after I gain my experience,
Experience in what?
well, drawing blood, knowing the paperwork, knowing how to contract. I've been reading certain books as far as what I can do with my certification. Go ahead.
So you were upset yesterday because you said I didn't give you a chance because I know what. Okay. What is working for someone else, drawing blood and all this other stuff, teaching you about running your own business?
It's teaching me that I will soon be in control of my own destiny after I decide to open up my own business.
I never had a job teach me how to run a business.
That I'm learning. It's about experience. You got to get
No, it's
experience.
not. See, that's why. See, okay. Where are you gonna get your customers from?
Marketing. There's digital marketing. You can go face to face engagement. Go to different nursing homes and introduce yourself to the administrators. You can tell them about who you are, what you do.
Do you have any sales experience?
Um, no, but
Okay.
I do
All right.
have.
So I need you to stop. You don't have sales experience. You don't have marketing experience. You don't have experience running a business, and a job doesn't prepare you for any of those. You learned how to do the task. And this is why I told you yesterday this is not a path to that. But you didn't think I knew what I was talking about yesterday.
uh,
And I've just told you, you still don't know what you're talking about today.
but shouldn't I know how to
Okay,
at least
okay, all right. I got other
perform?
people. No, all right, all right. Look, no offense, man, but I cut you off because you're gonna continue to ask me questions to prove why you're right.
No, but I should
Okay,
not learn how to
chief,
perform.
chief. You're 27. You're a phlebotomist. You're not an entrepreneur. You don't know how to run a business. You don't know what. Listen. You know how to draw blood. Why should somebody come to sincere blood tech versus going to the established industry leaders and people that they already know who have experience, who already have marketing, staff, everything else? Why should somebody choose the
That comes
new
with time.
guy? This is what. All right. This isn't this show. This is the things you're gonna have to figure out. It's not about knowing a product, and you don't want to hear it. So I'm telling you.
I do. I do.
Well. Here's the thing. If you really want to know, I'm gonna tell you like I tell anyone else. Book a session because the things I have to tell you, I had to learn in business, and they're not free. Anything else?
I would say something else, but it won't matter to you.
All right. Stina,
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. What do you got for me?
So I missed the first part of the show, but the title really did intrigue me. So I have two things. One is a comment, and then the second is a question. So first, I wanted to really thank you for your show. A friend gave me the link a couple of months ago, and it
Okay.
really helped me change my life. So I wanted to thank you so much for the work that you're doing for the community.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, my question is this. I am looking to find out whether or not it would make sense for me to um, allow my dad to help me find someone to marry, or if it would make sense for me to kind of start dating by myself. I'm 30 years old and I would prefer to like have my dad assist me with it, but at the same time, I'm not really sure if maybe that's something I shouldn't do. So I wanted to kind of get your advice on that.
Should you have your dad help you find a mate?
Yeah,
How old are you again?
30.
And what kind of relationship do you have with your father?
It's a good relationship. Like, we don't hate each other. I mean, like every relationship, it has its ups and downs,
Right.
but I trust him. So, yeah.
Okay. And I'm asking because um, why would you start having him help you right now, as opposed to when you were younger?
So when I was younger, he dissuaded me from dating. He wanted me to focus more on my career. And recently he said, I think it's now time for you to go
Is he
out
married?
into the open. My dad, yeah,
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
I do.
Boys or girls?
I have a brother and a sister, and then I have two step siblings.
Brother and sister, are they younger or older?
Everyone's younger. I'm the oldest.
And how old is the youngest?
She's 12.
All right, so 30 years old. Dad can kind of help guide at this point,
Okay.
but at 30, you're pretty much fully cooked. And the thing is, you have to ask yourself the same questions I ask every woman. What kind of life do you want? You want to be married? Do you want to be a stay-at-home wife, or do you want to work?
To be honest with you, Kevin, I haven't really decided. I think I spent a lot of my younger years working, and so I don't really have any idea right now whether or not I do want to be a stay-at-home mom or work. So I'm like totally open to that. I think I'll rather prefer to let the person I'm with kind of feel that out for me. Right now, I'm not really certain.
All right. So already big sign. At 30 years old, you should know what kind of lifestyle you want, whether or not you want to be. See, the way you're going right now is you're going to end up picking incorrectly.
Okay.
So I let my dad help because then dad'll be responsible when it goes wrong. I'm
Hmm.
asking you, what do you want? And you say, well, I really don't know. I'm going to let him choose. So when it runs off the cliff, you're not responsible.
Okay.
30, you need to put some thought into what you want. And it doesn't really sound like you want to be married.
Hmm. I definitely would say it's in recent development, to be honest.
Well, that's why I am who I am.
Exactly.
But why is it recent development?
Um, I would say that I came across your content and I met
Danger Zone!
more of this community around. So I was just like, oh, that's an interesting way to look at things. It was really different from my upbringing. And I think I looked at kind of my dad's relationships and my parents'
But your mother and
relationships.
father are married?
No, they divorced about 5 years ago.
All right. And your dad's remarried?
Yeah.
All right. So do you want children?
Yes, I do.
How many?
Um, I think like a max of four.
At 30 years old?
Yeah.
I see you, Brandon. Moderators, put the link in the chat room. So, ma'am, um, all right, we got to go. Then we got to do other stuff. How tall are you?
5'7".
Dress size?
8.
How much did you weigh your last time you weighed yourself?
Uh, I want to say 145.
145. You sounded real suspect about that 145.
It's been a while to be really honest.
Um, okay. How often do you work out?
Well, to be honest,
Well,
your
yeah,
video,
honesty would be good.
yeah, so it was one of your videos, I would want to say like 3 months ago that got me into working out. So now I work out every day. But prior to that, I have never worked out like a day in my life.
So how in the heck did you get to be 140? Hold on. Hold on. You're 30 years old. 5 foot tall. How tall are you? 5 foot what?
7.
You say you're 5'7", 145 pounds, dress size 8, and you never worked out a day in your life.
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, I know.
And then you want 4 kids. So you have
I
no
would say
history
a
of work.
max. I always say
Okay,
max.
well, I'll just go with that, even at 3. But the
Okay.
problem is, man, um, one, you have no history of fitness. So once you have that first kid, uh, I mean, your husband's gonna be looking at a 200-pound woman.
That's crazy.
Well, if I believe 145, which I really don't, um, just don't. Um, and if you want kids, what kind of husband, what kind of father do you want for him? See,
That's a good
there
question.
shouldn't be these long pauses, man.
Okay.
I mean, I'm saying if you at 30 years old, you should be giving advice to younger women. There shouldn't be these long pauses. So it
Mhm.
sounds like to me, you've just been out there living your life, doing your thing, footloose, fence-free, careless, and then a couple of things happen. 2020 is one of the realest years on record. We got the CV-19. Then you ran into this platform, and all of a sudden you started hearing the
Danger Zone!
and now it's like, well, I'm starting to now I need to go get the picture. And the picture is husband, children, home, stuff, but without knowing the why. You don't know why you want to get married. You don't know what kind of husband you want. So you don't even know what kind of father you want. And here's the problem. You don't even know what kind of wife you would be to offer. But we do know one thing, you don't work out. So that tells me you're lazy. And a lazy wife is a bad thing. You know why
Okay.
that is?
No, I don't.
Okay, if you don't work out, I'm going to also assume uh, how are your household cleaning skills?
Those are top notch.
Are we talking about sterile environment? I could walk in your home right now and run my finger across the window sills and I don't have any dust?
Yes.
All right. How well do you cook?
Really well.
When's the last relationship you had?
I'm gonna say 5 years ago.
And how long was that?
That was for 3 years.
So 22 you had a relationship from 22 to 25?
Yeah.
Why didn't you marry him?
Um, Good question. I don't have an answer for it right now.
Well, I will tell you this. Um, Sounds like you need some therapy
Okay.
because um, I don't know. It's always a good thing to get your head checked. But at 30 years, I mean, it's like you got a lot of holes in your life.
Mhm.
So I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I do know one thing. You don't need to have any babies without marriage. Um, and are you actively dating?
No,
When was the last time you went on a date?
it's been more than 5 years.
Excuse me?
It's been more than 5 years.
Since you've been on a date?
Yeah.
Let me get comfortable. What, huh? Why?
Um, it's the same thing really, where it's just like just been focused,
Focused on what?
like on my business, personal
On your
development,
business.
etc.
What do you do?
Yeah, I'm a web designer.
Okay, I know plenty of web designers who have families and careers and everything else. I'm sorry, man, but even my advertising agency, that's not an excuse, and that's not a reason. That's an excuse.
That's a fair assessment.
I know. So who ended your last relationship?
I did.
Why?
This wasn't someone that I wanted to marry.
It was or was not.
It was not.
So why were you with him for 3 years? Okay, man. Let me
Uh,
stop you. Let me stop you right here. You need, I would say, basically some basic therapy because 5 years in your 20s, you haven't been on a date. And if you're 5 foot 145 pounds. What would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? And you can't use 7. Just your face.
Um, if we're doing just my face,
Yep.
I would say 5.
Cam up. Because
Seriously, I'm in bed right now.
okay, but see, the thing is, a woman who's an average looking woman who's fit. If you're fit at 145 pounds at 5'7", that means you should be fit. And you're telling me you haven't had a date in 5 years? That means you haven't had relations. And have you had intercourse in 5 years?
No,
Are you a virgin?
no.
So you just quit. You
I
quit
wouldn't
on you.
say that.
Well, yeah, I
I
would.
wouldn't
I would
say
call it.
that.
I would call it quitting.
Okay.
I mean, what would you call it? From 25 to 30, you've not dated, you've not had sex, and you can. And please tell me you're running a multi-million-dollar company.
Not yet.
Oh no, no. Do you have any employees?
I do, yes.
How many?
3.
Are they contract or do you actually have employees?
They're employees.
And how many hours a week are you putting in?
Um, I would say before I was putting in a lot, but now I can say I put in between 30 to 40.
Five years, you have 3 employees, and now you're putting in 30 to 40 hours.
Yeah.
And how many hours were you putting in when you were it was just you?
Like a lot, like maybe 80 hours a week.
Okay, all right, that's ma'am. Um, there are all kind of bells going off here, but I'm gonna tell you, you're not ready for marriage.
Okay.
I mean, you're not even ready for a relationship. I mean, it's not like you can just decide to go do this. You haven't had a date in 5 years. Your
Mm-hmm.
relationship muscles have atrophied. And honestly, what I'm hearing here is fear. Fear masked as stoicism.
Wow. I really appreciate you being honest. I really, really do.
No problem. Okay, what do you got for me, Brandon? I'm going to mute you,
You're doing
Christina.
me? Okay.
Go ahead.
Um, so the topic is, what you do to increase your value. And I
How
would
old are
say,
you? How old are
mhm,
you? How
I'm
old are
30,
you? 30 what?
36.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. And just to further qualify myself, I'm
Oh, I
making
just
six.
needed to know. I just need to know
Okay.
who I'm talking to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, but I think you really nailed it. And I think the elements kind of feed into each other. Traveling in the wrong circles, chasing tail. If you're doing that throughout your 20s, you're not developing skills that are going to allow you to take the next step in your career. And I've recently moved into sales, and I got into that because I used to do implementation work, and I got really good with working with clients, but I kept building out my social skills, which allowed someone that actually worked in sales said, "Hey, Brandon, you're good with the client." So I got pulled into the sales field
Okay.
uh, from continuing to build my my skill set.
Are you married, single, what?
I'm currently single.
Uh, longest relationship.
Longest relationship, I would say it was 2 years, but honestly, I broke up with her because I knew I wasn't ready.
How
It was
long
about
ago
10
was
years,
that?
about 10 years.
10 years ago.
hmm I had made about a quarter of what I made now, so I knew I wasn't ready for anything serious. That's why I broke
So
that off.
have you been dating?
On and off. I traveled a lot in the consulting part of
Brandon,
my career.
Brandon,
It's kind of
Brandon,
hard.
Brandon, Brandon.
Hmm.
I'm a salesperson. I traveled a lot, and I had an active dating life, and I was a top performer. This is what I don't get with you guys. You come in here acting. Men and women act as though career prohibits you from social life.
No, it's not to say that I didn't date. I never nailed down any serious relationship.
That's what I'm asking.
Um,
So what I'm asking is, have you been 10 years? Because when your last relationship was 10 years ago, so have you had even short-term relationships like
yes,
6 month
yes, I have.
relationships or
Yeah,
something?
I've had something that was about a year after
Okay.
that, but that didn't work out. We both traveled.
Okay. So what I'm trying to gauge is your relationship skills.
Okay.
Because if you're 36, and even if you are a high income guy, if you don't have the relationship skills, it's going to be hard to make a relationship work, even with the resources.
Okay.
I mean,
That's fair.
yeah. So do you, I mean, this is why I mentioned the whole lazy part. See, a lot of times people get lazy. They focus on their career and they use that as a justification for playing it safe. And here's the thing: I want to hear you focused on your career and your senior partner. You're a top 10% CEOs club. You are winning trophies. I don't want to hear I'm just doing average work. I'm right there in the middle of the bell curve, 50 to 75% of employees. I'm just kind of middling. I haven't been, I'm not fast track because,
Actually, I have been identified as a high potential employee, and I moved into sales engineering,
okay.
so I work
I get
on.
it. I get it. Sales engineering. But here's the thing. How long have you been moved into this position?
I've been in this position 6 months. Before that, I did four on the implementation side.
All right. So on the implementation side, I'm quite sure that there were guys that you work with that either got married or dated.
Correct. Yep, that's
So
true.
that's not a reason. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying. So effectively, this is what happens with a lot of my higher earner tech guys. They look up and they're in their early to mid 30s and they have the comforts of a middle class life, but they have no real prospects for emotionally significant, meaningful relationships. Some will be able to get hookup sex, have some sex, but as far as having a lady friend, a woman, something serious, nowhere on the calendar, nowhere on the schedule, not even a possibility. Because one, they don't have the skills to, even if they found someone who was available, that they would know how to lead that. So I'm ultimately getting to. And my question is, do you want to go through the rest? Are you content to live the bachelor life and just be a working guy and a tech guy?
No, and to your point, that's right. So I was talking about complacency in a professional sense, but yeah, you could say that in terms of relationships, I've kind of set that on the back burner, not really
Well,
spending
yeah,
time.
10 years, bro. That's complacency.
You know,
And see, the thing is, no one asks us direct questions, and like I said, um, all right. What do you want children one day?
yeah, definitely.
How many?
Minimum two, probably not more than three.
What part of the country you live in? Northeast, southwest?
I'm close to you. I'm in Dallas, actually.
All right. I'm in Atlanta. So here's the thing. Dallas is whew, women in Dallas are a piece of work. Um, you're another kind of guy I would say coaching or peer counseling because relationships are different than they were 10 years ago. And you haven't, I mean, the last time you dated seriously, when was that?
In the last couple of years, I've had a couple things that are a couple months, but a lot of the women are very, they get very masculine, and that just turns me off. I just kind of walk
Okay,
away.
well, let me tell you
I run
something,
the
bro. That's the problem right there. Let me stop you right there. The last couple of years put you 33 or 34 years old, right?
correct.
You get to pick those masculine women that you throw away. It's not their fault for being masculine. It's your fault for picking them. Just like it was my fault for picking one.
That's fair.
See the difference in mindset?
Yep.
So if you said I've dated, but these women are masculine, that tells me that your relationship skills are low because you're picking masculine women. And if you haven't worked through that and learned how to pick better, um, either end up going through this life alone or through just situationships until you figure out Relationship is the most important thing in life, not marriage, human relationship. That's what has that's where, and my tech guys are the ones that tend to struggle with this the most because you're living the most financially secure lives. So you got all the trappings of a successful life, but it's empty. All right, brother.
Okay. All
Thanks
right.
for calling in. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, Kevin. Keep
No,
doing what you're doing.
no problem. Bye bye. Talk to you later. Good guy though. All right. Yeah, man. See, what I need guys to understand is I don't care if you want to get married or Brianna or Nicole, you need to unmute yourself. I don't care if you want to get married or not. What I do need you to know is you need to develop your relationship skills to become even a more effective employee. Who's up? Brianna or Nicole? Who goes first? Nicole.
Hello.
Hi. What do you got for me?
So, I'm a college student. I'm 20, and I am trying to just make sure that I'm on the right path to increase my value, and I don't want to, get in the danger zone and not be.
Oh, you got a long
Yeah,
way to go
yeah.
from the danger zone. What part of the country are you in?
I'm from South Carolina. I'm in South Carolina.
Is your dad in your life?
Yes, sir.
Um, did you grow up with mom and dad in the house?
Yes, sir. They've been married for 20 something years now.
So do you have a boyfriend?
Not currently, no.
Um, well, do you talk to dad about dates, boys, and things like that, men?
Yes.
Well, then I'd say go to dad. I mean, you got a father. The way you this he wants arguably I would say your father wants to see the best for you. So the guy have you ever had a boyfriend?
Yes, sir. I've had two before.
And then did they have to come home and meet your dad?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Listen to dad. The thing is, you have to ask yourself, what do you want out of life too? And then be honest with your dad. Say, hey, dad, I think I want this, or hey, dad, I want that. And let him lead you or guide you or give you some input. But you have
Okay.
to, okay. And ask him his opinion on it too. Engage your father in this regard. And then, you know, and after that, engage your mom. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye. Shout out to the caller. Brianna, unmute yourself. Where's Otasia, man? Otasia ain't here, man. Hello? Brenna. Brenna. Oh,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, great. I basically just have like the same question that Nicole had. Actually 19. I'm in
Uh-oh.
college. Yeah. But I've
Okay.
had a boyfriend before.
Uh,
Um,
um, were you raised with mom and dad?
no, just my mom, but I have a good relationship with my dad.
Um, well, the boyfriend you had before, did he have to meet your father?
No, it
Okay.
was a college boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, you're 19. How long did you have the college boyfriend?
A month,
Huh?
3 months.
All right. That's pretty short. Um, well, the thing is, at 19, it's kind of dicey because you have
Mm-hmm.
so little experience.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing I will say focus on for all of my young ladies is fitness. How tall are you? Hello?
Yeah, 5'7". Can you hear me?
I can
Sorry.
now. What size dress do you wear?
Um, I'm not sure. I think I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know.
How
Probably
much
like
did you,
2 or 3. I
how much?
weigh about 160 pounds, but I'm an athlete also, so it's really just
Uh,
muscle, but I'm not fat.
5'7",
Yeah.
160 pounds.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm skinny, but it's just muscle.
Yeah, that would still probably put you at least a good size 6.
Okay, cool.
Um, so
My waist is like 28.
okay.
Yeah.
But you're a college athlete.
Yeah.
What's your sport?
Basketball.
Uh oh. Uh oh. You know I say uh oh, huh?
No, I don't. Why?
How many butchers or studs you play ball with?
Uh, I don't know. And
Basketball tends to have a lot of women who like women.
okay, well,
Ten,
no one on my team likes women,
okay,
so
I get it, but I'm just saying the sport in of itself too. Basketball does not tend to lend itself to women being ladies.
yeah.
Uh, so I have to ask you some personal questions. Do
Okay.
you wear heels often?
Yeah, not often. I have to go to work or something. Sure.
All right, so this is what you need to be focusing on.
Hmm.
Um, Maintaining your fitness and realizing you're going to have to do this for the rest of your life,
Hmm.
even when you're not going to basketball practice in college. Um, and I've talked about how the college years. There's a video on my channel called The College Years. I lined out
Hmm.
several things for college age women to do to increase their value, increase their profile. But it all revolves around, being fit, being feminine, being friendly. And a big part is being feminine. Today, so many young ladies are just simply not feminine, not wearing
Yeah.
dresses, can't walk in heels, hard vernacular. So all that's where I would really say focus on. And then those are the kind of women that draw a different caliber of man.
Okay. And um, what is your opinion on like swimmers, like female swimmers?
Female
Because I have
swimmer.
friends on the swim team. Yeah.
I don't
Are
get it.
they
What?
like? You said basketball players are like more masculine. So what's your opinion on
Female swimmers,
female?
like as
Yeah.
athletes?
Yeah. Like, are they more
Oh,
feminine?
more familiar with basketball. I mean, do you swim too?
I used to in the past. Yeah.
I'm more familiar with basketball. Because it lends itself to a different way of being.
Um,
Swimmers. I would say swimmers. I would put them, I guess, around. I don't know if I would put. I don't know. I know gymnasts are good.
okay. Like
All right.
Simone Biles kind of thing. 'Cause she's kind of masculine to me.
But they're nice and flexible. All right, now.
Okay.
Talk at you. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right, guys. You're gonna leave it open. Call in. Here's the thing. Guys asked about their value and how to rate yourself. Guys, do you know how does the world rate you? See, when I talked about the whole thing about a high value man, the first thing out of the gate is money. And a good benchmark for high value is tripling your age. You're 25, tripling 25 is 75,000. You're 30, triple that to be 90. 35, triple that to be 105. That's double puts you right in the middle. Triple is a good spot. But the next part is the most important part. It's hard to really mature or grow and increase your value without people to practice on and with. If you don't have any friends, you don't have a network, you don't have live people to go back and forth with. It's all simulation. So that's where we go with that. So um, here's another thing. Can you increase your value if you have a child? If you're a single mother, can you increase your value? Any women in the chat room have children? This is a big one. Or I hear what you're saying, Kevin. If I'm young and don't have kids, what if I have a child? That's the big one. Or if I'm overweight or plus size, who's dealing with that one? You said I'm low value. She works on chain. Okay. I find that I'm too intelligent to go back and forth with most people. Who is that? Divine thoughts. You're too intelligent to go back and forth with most people. I'm sorry. I would say you need to call in, because that sounds like arrogance. It sounds like arrogance. Hello? Oh, your mic's not connected. I'm not saying it's not true, but people that have high intelligence can really be assholes. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, do you have YouTube or something on in the background?
No.
Okay, what do you have for me?
Hi, my name is Angelica, and I was calling in to see how I could increase my value. I am 36 years old, and I don't have any children.
Okay. Is the TV on?
Yes, it's on in the other room.
Oh, okay. All right, you might want to close the door.
Oh, yeah, I have the door closed, but I can turn it down.
Yeah, it's loud.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, do you have YouTube or something on in the background? Okay, what do you have? All right.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back.
Whose house you at?
I'm at my house.
Oh, what's all that noise?
My nieces and nephews came over to visit.
Ah, okay. All right. 36, no children. What part of the country do you live in? Northeast, Southwest?
Kansas.
Yeah. Right in the middle.
Midwest?
Yeah, Midwest, right up by Oklahoma. So increase your value. All right, let's talk about it. What do you want out of life? Do you want to be married? Do you want to be a mother? What is it? Because that's really going to determine what kind of value you're going to need.
I would like to be married. I wouldn't mind being a stepmom and maybe having 1 or 2 children additionally.
You don't want to have your own children?
I would like to have 1 or 2, yes.
Why just?
But I know that
Why 1 or 2?
Men my age most likely have children too, so I wouldn't mind being a stepmom as well.
Okay. So how long have you known you want to be married?
I would say at least about the last 10 years.
10 years? So that would put you around 25 or
probably longer.
So, okay. So what's the longest relationship you've ever had?
5 years.
How long ago was that?
It was probably about 5 years ago.
So you were 30 or 31 when you ended the relationship, and you were 25 or so when you started it?
Actually, I was about 19 when I started the relationship and ended about 25, 26.
Yeah, that math doesn't work. You said you're 36?
No, 25. From 19 to 25.
You said you're how old? You're old.
I'm 36 now.
Okay, 36 now. So if you said the last relationship you had was about 5 years ago, and it was 5 years long.
Well, no, that was the longest relationship. My last relationship was about 6 months ago.
Okay. All right. So your 5-year relationship was between ages what and what?
19 to 25, 26.
And how old was he?
He was about 2 years older than me,
About 2 years, girl.
two
You
to
should
three
know.
years older than
5 years. You been with somebody 5 years. You don't know how old they are. Don't play with me. It
Well,
won't
it's
end
been a
well.
minute.
Don't play with me. It won't end well because you're already off on the math. So I'm
Okay.
a little. My antennas are up.
Okay. I understand.
So he was older than you.
Yes.
Who ended the relationship?
I did, but I ended the relationship because he was cheating.
Uh huh. In what year?
Um, Mainly he got
In
caught
what?
the last year that we were together.
Uh huh. So why didn't y'all get married in the previous four?
We were working on our careers. The plan was for us to get married. I had already picked out the ring I wanted, and then I,
Slow it down. You said the
you're right.
plans were for you to get married. You had already picked out the
Yes.
ring you wanted.
Well, he asked me to like look at rings that
Okay,
I would like to
got it.
give him an idea,
I understand.
and then I had showed him the
Hold
ring that I
on. Did he
liked,
do that? And
and
what year did he do that?
that was the last year we're together, so
You
year
mean the year
5.
he cheated?
Yes.
But what about the other 1, 2, 3, 4 years, the other 4 Thanksgivings, the other 4 Christmases, the other 4 birthdays, the other 4 Valentine's days, the other 4 4th of Julys? All those years, why didn't y'all get married when nothing was going wrong?
Um, I would say we were on and off, and I was in school, and
Stop,
uh,
stop,
I don't know.
stop. You said you had a 5 year relationship. The implication was me and this man are 5 years together, monogamous. Now you're saying on and off. All right. Your story's not making sense, man. It's starting to have holes in it. When I get holes, my spidey senses start tingling, and I don't like to be lied to. Just tell me the truth.
Okay. So we were together on and off for 5 years. The last, I would say, 2 years we were together. Seriously, like we moved in together
And why didn't you get
and had our
married
apartment
before you
together.
moving in?
I thought that would be the next step before getting married.
Did you go to college?
Yes,
Did you graduate from college?
I have a certification.
That's a yes or no.
No.
Okay. But you know what marriage is, ma'am. You were like 23 and you were off and on with this guy. So you're taking it to the next level. So why not swing by the courthouse and get married before you cohabit?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I was seeing other people do it and I thought it would be fine and that we would get married after that.
Hmm. So you guys lived together for 2 years,
Yes.
and and you caught him cheating the last year.
Yes.
And was it at the beginning of the beginning of the 5th year, the middle of the 5th year, the end of the 5th year? When was it?
It was towards the end of the 5th year.
All right. So what I'm hearing, ma'am, is you never put any kind of requirements on anything. You're just kind of living footloose, fancy free, and hoping the best happens.
Yes.
All right. That's not how it happened, because the next questions I'm going to ask you are going to be even tougher. Because if you had a 5 year relationship and it was this janky, I mean, start, stop, break up, this, move in, cheat, da da da. I'm like, I don't understand why black people don't just, hey, we're together for a year and some change, get married and move to French toast on. But here we are. The last relationship, you said the last person you dated was what, 6 months ago?
Yes.
How long did y'all date?
For a year.
All right. So, and what about the person before that?
It was probably maybe a year and a half. The person before that,
Okay,
or probably
so
not.
you said you're 36 years old, and
Yes.
last relationship you had, you said 5 years ago. That's what you said. And then I
Yeah,
said, how?
I was thinking.
I
Okay.
know what I heard.
Yes.
Chat room confirm it. 36. The last relationship you had was 5 years ago. They would have put you about 31 years old. You said that lasted for 5 years, so that meant it would have started around 24, 25, or 26. Then you said, well, no, that's not what happened. What really happened was it wasn't 25 or 26. It started at 19 and it was over at 25 or 26. But then that makes the rest of your story not make sense because you just said you haven't had a relationship for 5 years. Now you're telling me you had a relationship for a year and then 18 months in this 5 years. Ma'am,
Okay.
no,
I'm sorry.
no. You're lying.
No.
Yes. See, the truth is simple. It's easy to remember. And you don't have to tell me a guy was about 2 years older. What is it you're trying to do?
Okay. Well, me explaining my relationship past, I thought you said what was my longest relationship, and maybe I jumped
But
the gun because I.
no, but ma'am, I asked you very simple, logical questions. The truth is the easiest to remember. The people in the chat room got it. I got it. You're off. And the thing is, what is it you're trying to achieve? You want to get married?
Yes,
All right. Who ended the last relationship that was over 6 months ago that was for a year? Who ended that?
he did.
Who ended the relationship that was 18 months ago? 18 months.
I did.
Why?
Because we weren't spending a lot of time together.
Were you guys in the same city?
Yes.
Okay. How much time do you need to spend with somebody at 18 months into a relationship? Why didn't you guys get serious or take it to the next level?
I don't know.
Did he ask you to be his girlfriend?
That's what I was trying to.
Did he ask you to be his girlfriend?
Yes. Yes.
So how often do you guys see one another?
Like once or twice a week, and then it started dwindling down.
Whoa. Once or twice a week? That ain't enough. You're a girlfriend. You're not a
initially
wife.
when we started dating, we were saying, huh?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Initially, when you started dating, you were doing what?
We're seeing each other once or twice a week and talking often, but that time started dwindling down where we were only seeing each other like once a week, and then our communication started dwindling down as well. Like we weren't talking every day; it would start being every other day.
Okay, so you got a history of start and stopping awkward kind of relationships, ma'am. Real talk. At the age you should have been at over 30, you were in an 18-month relationship. Seeing somebody once or twice a week should be plenty. You shouldn't be dating somebody for 18 months. It sounds to me like you don't do really well in relationships. If I had to ask the guys you dated, what would they tell me being with you is like?
Well, I have been listening to you for a while, and I did ask my ex that I was with for 5 years. I asked him about that earlier this week, and he said that I was the best relationship that he had, and he hasn't found a love like we had since we've been together. I have been trying to talk to some of my exes to find out.
So you were the best relationship he had, but he cheated on you.
Yes.
And then you broke up with him. Did he apologize? Yes or no?
I'm not for sure. Not initially when I found out. No.
If you're with a man for 5 years and he cheats on you, you know whether or not he apologized. You're not for sure. Was it rampant? Was it one time?
I had suspicions that he had done it other times.
No, I don't give a doggone about your suspicions. How many times do you document he cheated?
I would say I think one other time when we were in the on and off phase at
That
like
it doesn't count, man. You were
year.
on and off. It doesn't count.
Okay. Well,
So
then just
you let's
once
stop.
that
So
year
so
five.
you were with a man for 5 years that argued, and you never saw anybody else during that time.
No,
You never had sex with anybody else during that time.
no.
All right. Well, you can't if you're on if you're not if we're not on you, you can't claim nothing. He cheated on you one time and he apologized.
Yes.
Did you try to let him fix it, or did you just leave?
Um, I tried to let her fix it because we were still living together. Because we couldn't break the lease. But
All right, ma'am. I'm not hearing relationship skills. Okay, straight up, I'm not hearing relationship skills. Um, because you were with somebody for 5 years and he cheated. Uh, you need to figure out why, because that's not normal. Somebody just cheats in the fifth year, especially they looking at rings and want to be with you. Um, there's all kind of things that are missing here. Then the next guy you're with for 18 months, and what do you say? You broke up with him because you weren't seeing each other enough. I'm like, all right, ma'am. Dating is going to be difficult if you don't give. If you gotta, it doesn't sound like you have a problem getting with a guy, but it doesn't sound like you're with anybody that you really want to be with.
um, I wanted to be with my. I wanted to be with all the guys I were with.
All right, then the guy that cheated on you and you were with him for 5 years, why didn't you give him a chance to fix it?
We tried to date a couple of times after we had split up, but
But your heart wasn't in it. You just really hadn't forgiven him.
yes.
Okay, so all right, well, see, and stuff happens in relationships, and this is gonna hurt. But far too many of our sisters want men to be perfect, and you're not perfect. And that was your longest relationship. He put up with you for that long too. Remember that. He put up with your stuff too. So if you left a 5 year and a year and a half, all right. But at 36, you, uh, have you ever had a man propose to you? Drop the one knee,
No.
produce. All right. So, do you want to marry a black man? Does it matter what color he is?
I would like to marry a black man.
What's your height?
5'4",
Dress size?
size 12.
You know what's coming next, right?
My weight.
Yeah. Why?
I would say I stopped taking care of myself and working out on a regular basis.
Okay, but I gotta ask you. On your way to 40, how much do you weigh?
193.
You seen this broadcast.
Yes.
So what would I normally say right about now?
I need to lose weight.
Okay. What else would I say?
That Black women have an issue with weight and that we need to take care of our.
I'm asking about
one
what
of
would
the
I normally say about what would I say about a person who's had relationships but you can't maintain them. And then you've allowed yourself to get to this position. See, now you're giving yourself a reason for why your relationships don't work. Because if they don't work, you got a convenient excuse. I'm in Kansas. There are no black men. I'm in my mid-30s and I'm overweight. And the reality, here's the thing, ma'am. You tell men what you think they deserve by your appearance and your attitude.
Yes.
So I don't really know many guys, especially guys that middle class, solid dudes who want a woman who's almost 200 pounds. That's just the hard reality.
I can accept that.
Huh?
And I said I can accept that, and I'm starting to work on my weight loss.
When was the last time you were a healthy weight? I.e., last time you were 125 pounds.
I would say
Remember, I'm a calculator.
high school. Yeah, high school. It was high school.
All right, and due respect, let me say to move you to the side because I don't want to be personal. Black women, this is a dadgum shame. You cannot give black men an unhealthy weight and expect them to treat it as it's valuable. You want wife. You want things. And see, what I'm hearing in your relationship is you were with the guy in your first relationship, but you were already getting up in weight. And men, just reality, sisters haven't want to look at this as your weight has increased, your marital status has gone down, and so is keeping a relationship. Men are not attracted to that. So, I mean, did you start? Okay. So, and I know women be like, well, that's not fair, and you should love us anyway, but that's not how men work. And if you
Yeah.
know you haven't been a healthy weight since high school, what year? Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior?
I would say my senior year.
All right, so that's almost 20 years ago. Why, ma'am? Why have you looked? This is gonna hurt a little bit, so I gotta ask. You know the things I'm saying are accurate.
Yes.
Why have you allowed this to go on for almost 2 decades? Have you had any therapy?
No.
Okay. I think you need some because you know what I'm saying is accurate.
Yes.
I mean, um, and see, this is what it becomes far untenable for a lot of women. They get upset with me when I say, if you can't get your weight underweight, you're not going to get a husband. And they
I
think
can accept that.
I say I know, but see but the thing is, you can accept it at 36 years old, but 20 years from now, when it really sinks in, see, you still got your nieces and you still got life in your house. You got
Yes.
nieces, and do you have any pets?
No pets.
All right. How often do you get your nieces? How often they come? Your How often do they come over?
Um, they come often, probably 2 or 3 times a week.
Right. And where's their father?
He's at work.
Uh,
He
uh, is,
works out of town.
is he? Are these your sister's kids or your brother's kids?
They're my sister's kids.
She married to their father?
Yes.
All right. So he's out. What's she doing?
Oh, she works as well. She's a hairstylist.
So you're keeping their kids when she goes to work and he's out of town?
Sometimes it's not often, but or they just come over and visit as well.
Okay. All right. I get it. And see, this is a trap. See, my aunts were a lot like this. They had me that they saw often during the week and my cousins. So it filled the void of their children until they got to a point to where they, in your position, they were aging out. And there was no more options left. Man, if you want to give a shot at getting this on the track, you need to get into some therapy, understand why. I just think therapy is a good idea. A clean bill of health. Was your dad in your life?
Not really.
All right. There got to be issues there. But you're going to have to invest in a personal trainer and make a commitment to approach losing weight and getting fit like your life depended on it. It's not something you can just choose to do slowly. I'm going to read a book or two. No, you need to approach this like everything depends on it, because if you don't, how many times have you heard my show when I got women who are in their 40s, 50s? I spoke about a lady in her 50s who's, this grows on, man, and you'll be over 200 pounds here shortly.
Yes.
And you'll look back and say, I had 100% control over my weight. And my weight, thus my option. So this was a long call, but, you know, anytime that the truth is hard to get to and women are being deceptive, is because you're trying to hide something. And you want help, but you don't want but you don't want it to sting.
Mm-hmm.
But what I used to tell my people when I was teaching cycle classes, look, turn up the tension, climb the hill, and people would pretend like they turned up the tension, but I could see their butt bobbling on the seat when they was pedaling real fast. I was like, if you were really turned up the tension, you'd be grinding like this, not. And I couldn't go and turn the knob myself. I said, okay, but here's the thing, you got to see you naked getting out of the shower. And then I would get women to turn up the tension because they remember what they look like naked getting out of the shower.
Mm-hmm.
You got to ask yourself, would you find that appealing as a man?
I would say it's not bad, but there's better out there.
Okay. At 5'4", 5 foot how tall? 4'7", 4?
5'4".
5'4". You weigh more than the average man. The average man weighs 168 pounds. So the whole "it's not bad" thing is a problem.
Okay.
I mean, I try to say it as nice as possible, but you're still protecting. It's not bad. Yes, ma'am, it's really bad. Just because there's worth just shows you how bad this is in the black community. A man who was your height would be morbidly obese. Would you agree?
I would agree.
All right. So we can't say it's not that bad, because when we do that, it takes away the sense of urgency. I mean, I know it's not easy to hear, but you're not on camera. I'm not going to put you on camera. No one will see you. I haven't said your name.
Okay.
But you gotta own this, ma'am. Like your life depends on it, because you're 36. You still have some choices. But in about 7 years, 5 to 7 years, you're not going to have any choices. You're going to have a whole lot more life and no choices. I'm talking to you and any other woman, 35 plus, 35 to 37. You still have choices. But once you cross 40, those choices fall through the ground, and they are directly proportional to your weight.
Okay.
All right? Have a good one.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye. Shout out to the caller.
Bye-bye.
You know, where's the link? Can you call in? I got time for a couple more calls. Understand something, man. Ladies, look. What I need you to understand is this. I was trying to tell a woman this today. So I was in Bloomingdale's today, and I had 4 people recognize me. This is kind of getting crazy. And women over 30, you know, in that danger zone.
Danger zone!
Pressure starts to get on you, ladies. And the thing is, I see so many women, so many sisters that are just just out of just. I've seen some women who have pretty faces, but their body is just like, and I don't think you understand that men have a hard time getting aroused. And if a man is not aroused and doesn't desire you, yes, you may end up having relations with a guy, but day after day, year after year, anything becomes it's gonna be fraught with problems because he's gonna look over and say, "This is the best I could get," and you're gonna look over him and say, "This is the best I could get." And the thing is, I don't understand why so many black women just refuse to freaking exercise. You don't have a thyroid problem. It ain't coronavirus. It's just like, I'm going to be lazy and I'm going to get to be fat and as long as the fat lands in the places where he likes, in the butt and the boobs or whatever, but eventually it catches up. So, all right, I got to get out of here. Somebody asked for the call line, but I didn't see anybody jump in. All right, here's what we're going to talk about. Increasing your value is the only way. I don't say only way. It's the surest way to have a happier life. Increasing your value is the surest way to having a happier life. Because even for the people who aren't married or don't want to get married or don't want to have children, you still want people to call you. You still want people to text you. You want people to know you exist. You want people to text you and say, "Hey man, how you doing? Hey chick, how you doing? Hey, I'm gonna come by, let's do this." You don't want this phone to be dry and dead. You look at your voicemails and you're not going to answer any voicemails because you know they're all solicitation calls. No one calls you. Who calls you? Who actually picks up the phone to dial to hear your voice, to get a human contact? I talk to people all day long. And if you really don't talk to people, that's something that you got to work on. Got to work on that. Black men are overweight too. Let me go ahead and help you, Raz F. I don't care about that. So, we don't do whataboutisms over here. If you got something to say, you can get on the call line. But see, black men are overweight, but black men can be overweight. Men can be overweight. They got money. Men can be overweight. Men are. See, this is another problem with people like Raz B. Men aren't supposed to be the pretty ones, the attractive ones. Men are supposed to be the productive, competitive, resourceful ones. So what? So they're short with beer bellies. They got big wallets. And that's why a short beer belly guy can get a dime. Even if he got to even at 85 years old, got to pull out a wad, you can't. And you ladies need to stop trying to deflect to men as if it increases a woman's value. That argument doesn't improve your position or a woman's position one bit. Saying, well, men are fat too. Yeah. So? Sarah says, my phone is dry. It sucks. Well, here's what you do. One of the easiest things to do is, if you're having issues, book your one-on-one personal advice line. Talk through some of your issues. Now, advice line is just that, advice. My other things I do, interpersonal communication, help become a more effective communicator. That's really good for people who are in corporate America, because one of the biggest problems you have is learning how to effectively express yourself, especially you guys. A lot of you guys really have a problem expressing yourself. And ladies, your problem is focus. Um, but talking some of this stuff out, getting some of it out on, and getting out of your head onto a piece of paper so you can at least have a plan. That's gonna do more good than anything else. So, um, at the end of the day, if you're not happy with your position in life, change it. Tomorrow is Women's Ladies Day or Ladies Night. Tomorrow night we discuss the third rail. The third rail is children. Can you increase your value as a single mother? Mm. Can you increase your value as a single mother? Can you? And if you can, how much? All right, so let me see what's going on right here. I haven't seen Ike here in a minute. Black Nitro, what's going on? Let me see what's going on. Get the iPad over here. All right, so let's see. Read the. All right, read some of these super chats. Watch things your father should have taught you. Cool. Keep up the great work. Appreciate it. Good to see you, Unc. Men blame women but refuse to give them something to make. Okay. All right. Huh. This message touches my soul. It resonates with me for the gems or money world. No potential. Okay. This best channel on YouTube. Appreciate it, fam. Michael Herrera, what's going on? There's no sound. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Can you be a high value man if you have children? Yes. Yes, most definitely. See, here's the thing. Being a high value man has nothing initially to do with looks. High value man, when I laid out high value man, I thought about men worldwide across time. And what were the things that made men respected among other men? That's why I say when I talk about high value men, it's not based around women, it's based around men. Women find it appealing because men will be led by these guys. So thank you guys for calling in. Thank you guys. I got to get out of here to show. I've been up all night. Going forward, here's what's going to happen though. I said something about the haters and things like that. People talking crazy. I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. I made an announcement. I posted on my community page. But here's the thing. I will file with YouTube to get your channel strike or ban. I don't play that. I don't play that jokey joke. I'm in business. I don't play that. You're coming at me. You're coming at my business. You're coming at my money, my livelihood, how I do what I do. I'm not playing. So please listen and act accordingly. You're coming at my business and I will defend it. You cannot say the thing. Some of the stuff that you guys have been saying, people have been saying, you're outright lying. It's called slander. And I got 2 people in court right now. 2 people off these YouTube streets in court right now. And I've already won 1 settlement. Why don't I publicize that? I shouldn't have to. I should not have to sue anybody. I should not have to take anybody to court. I should not have to contact YouTube and say, hey, this person over here is harassing me. They're lying about, they're doing this, they're doing that. I shouldn't have to do it. You should be grown men, grown women to just be able to say, you know what? I disagree with the guy. I don't like his content. I don't like anything about it. And just going about your business. Leave me be. Because I will come back after you. I'm not going to roast you. I'm not going to go back and forth in the comment section. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to use whatever I can. I will use whatever method. Yeah, he's a snitch. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right. And you'll have nobody to blame but yourself because I don't draw first blood. I don't mess with anybody. And I don't expect anybody to mess with me. But if you do, then that's fine. I must be important enough for you that you have to bother me and then risk whatever it is, whatever importance you put in your platform or your channel or whatever. If you're all right with that, that's cool. But don't get mad and go blaming folks if and when it happens. You know, YouTube is, anyway. The easiest thing to do would just leave me alone. But if you can't do that, okay. Enjoy the outcome. And even if it doesn't happen now, maybe it doesn't happen tomorrow. Somebody lost their one person lost their channel, didn't lose their channel immediately. So I would say this, and let me say this. Let me a couple of more minutes. One thing about improving your group, see, when you improve yourself, improve your value, you're going to separate yourself from a lot of dysfunction and stupidity. And that insults people. Some people are insulted by it. Some people are hurt by it. Some people are rejected by it. But I don't like to deal with anybody who takes pleasure in destruction. Let me say it again. Even when I was in work, in corporate America and workplaces, when I would hear people gossiping and talking about each other, water cooler, I would leave. I don't deal with people. I don't like people who take pleasure in destroying somebody or destroying stuff. Destroying somebody's, image, their reputation is just like assaulting them. It is an assault. That's why, guess what? All this fighting this and carrying on, no. Oh, and civil judgments, yeah. They go, depending on where you go. And by the way, and if I have to, I will fly to you where I need to sue you. I already said I'm going to New York, and I'll be in California. You better ask somebody. YouTube is not a game. It's a business. And far too many people out here are approaching these platforms like it's nothing that serious. You sign those terms and conditions. And even if your platform is not monetized, you're not making one red cent. If you don't care about it, cool. And the last thing YouTube is doing effectively now, and you can go ask several black YouTubers who've lost their platforms. Gone are the days of losing a channel and going to a backup channel. You're being blocked at the IP level, meaning they're blocking you at your location. So a well-known content creator with over 100,000 subscribers lost their channel. Went to their backup channel that had 50 plus thousand, lost that channel inside of 48 hours. Went to another channel, had 12, lost that one. Started a brand new one, lost that one. They're not playing anymore. YouTube is tired of this. It's bad for business. You sitting on YouTube talking all day, taking up bandwidth and server space, and they can't run any ads against you. You're a loss for them. You think Coca-Cola want to run ads up against some of this foolishness? Nope. They're trying anyway. So there you go. All right, either build or destroy, and that's what we do. We get away from people who destroy. Leave them in the dust. Leave them in the dust. Leave them in the dirt. So guys, that's what it is. This is going to be the last time I'm going to say anything about it. I won't say anything about it, but I darn sure would do something about it. Shout out to Herb Thompson. Keep it up. The excellent work, St. Kevin. Appreciate it, fam. Yep. But never say their names. Never give any shout out. Shout out to Darius. Appreciate it. Shout out to Dre. Andre, what's going on, bro? All right, man. I got to get up here to hear my throat hurts. It's been a long night. Grab me some ramen soup. You guys are fun. We're going to have fun tomorrow night. We're going to have fun tomorrow night. The fun shows are back. I don't like heavy topics. I like fun topics. So until... Oh, yeah, I don't like heavy topics. So until next time, peace. We are, you know how that goes. Shout out to Fawcett Media Group. I need to hit you up, man. I need to get that intro and outro.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's
Shout out to Chris Briggs. Vicky M, great show. Thank you.
It's not hard to
I love some ramen. Too much sodium. I know, right? Oh, man, it's so good. Shout out to Stoic. Shout out to Jerry. Shout out to Billy the Kid. I've slowed down my Red Bull intake. You guys notice? I have taken. I read some of the comments like, oh, I have to go that way, but I've slowed down my Red Bull. I drink more water.
So tell your good cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah. So set the ball back before the
I don't really talk about Bookie and Ray Ray and stuff like that because there are other people who talk about it.
cause I'll find no matter what.
If you're in the tri-state area, if you're in the city area, next week I'll be up there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday nights. I'll be up there for 4 days. Then I'm flying back to Atlanta. I'm head out to LA, kicking in Beverly Hills. Never know. Maybe. I talked about
Nothing
it.
can stop
See what happens. LA is a happening spot.
Cause I'm addicted.